buenos días, welcome back for another lesson from English al Español al Arabi, where we take words and phrases and translate them from English to Spanish and then to Arabic. And today I am going over 3 lines from a video lesson, a video lesson in Modern Standard Arabic that I've taken from the very useful YouTube channel Arabic Pod 101. And I find this channel very useful because they have lessons in many, many languages, and it's usually all the same dialogue. So once you learn it in one language, you can go through it in another language and learn the same dialogue. And that's kind of useful. But anyway, this one is called Arabic Listening Exercise, Baking a Cake. And it starts off with a blonde Australian woman saying, "How are your Arabic listening skills?" And I say, better than my Australian accent. So the first line from this video in Arabic would be translated into English as "a chef makes a cake." And in Spanish we would probably say "una repostera," because it's a feminine chef, it's a female chef, as it's indicated by the Arabic text. A female chef, dessert maker in Spanish, repostera. Una repostera elabora un pastel. A chef makes a cake. Elabora, elaborates. We're most likely to say it like that in Spanish. But in Modern Standard Arabic, what we have here is tahiyya. And that's a female chef in one way of saying it. This sound is very common in Arabic, and you have to learn tahiyya. Talib, a student, talib. It starts off with the same 2 letters. This very thick T, and then tahiyya. And now we're going to be a little bit formal. In the video they pronounce this tanween adam, which normally probably would not be pronounced. So tahiyyatun tasna'u, and we pronounce this dhamma here. This is the conjugated verb to make, but it kind of implies to elaborate or prepare in an industrial way, like manufacturing. But we can use it here just the same. So tahiyyatun tasna'u kaka, a cake, kaka. And now we have the second line, which would be, what did she put the chef in it? What did she put the chef in it? So, mada, what? Without is she put. It's a conjugated verb in the past tense, so it would be like, wadautu, I put, wadauta, you put male, wadauti, you put female, wadau, he put, wadaut, she put. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the conjugations. Thank you. Wadaut, etahiyya, if we want to pronounce that, etahiyya dakhilaha. And ha is the subject pronoun referring back to the cake. So but we wouldn't say dakhilaha, not even in a formal discourse. We would most likely say, well, everybody would say fiha in formal discourse, which means in it. And it's so much simpler. Dakhil or dakhila means inside of, basically. So when learning Modern Standard Arabic, we have to go through a lot of dialogue that we would never really use in real life, but we're going to need it to be able to understand journalism and literature and even announcements in public places that can be in Modern Standard Arabic. So now we come to the part, well, let me say this in Spanish. So it would be, ¿Qué agregó la cocinera al pastel? ¿Qué agregó? What added? What did she add? La cocinera or la repostera al pastel, or a ella. Ello, referring to the pastel, but we wouldn't say it like that in Spanish. So now we come to the part where the chef is talking, so it's like a cooking show, dialogue from a cooking show. And the first thing she says is, "Al-yom saufa nasna'u kaka." And this would mean today, and this is a future marker, it means will be, we make a cake. Nasna'u. Al-yom, today, saufa. But we wouldn't use the saufa here either, because saufa is a future marker in front of conjugated present tense verbs to indicate the future. But saufa usually indicates a future that's a little bit further away. What we would use here is just sa, the letter seen with a feta, sa. Sanas now. And that would be today we're going to make a cake. But for the dialogue, sake of the dialogue, today it will be we make a cake. Al-yom saufa nasnau kaka. Now this word, these three letters here, sna, they can be used to mean like a product, and you might hear people referring to that, although it's kind of incorrect. It's the basis of the word for industry and manufacture and things like that, but in that case, it's usually a Form 2 verb, and it has a shadda here, so it would be sana, instead of sna. So you can hear the two N's, sana, and that would mean industrialize. So I'm going to be continue going through a couple of these videos in Modern Standard Arabic, and I hope you learned a couple of words. Thank you very much for viewing. God bless you. Que Dios les bendiga. Allah yasommakum.